I greet you in the love and the light of the Ultimate One Creator. This is one of the most important videos I've ever made. It's so important. Now, understanding this will help everybody. And this is why I've been doing this work. This is based on the 3 days of darkness that we've got. That's already in the process. I've made some notes today. I don't usually make notes, but there's just so much information. I've got, I think, 5 pages. One in 5. No, 4 pages of notes. Anyway, let's get on with it. But it's important, people. If you don't want to watch the video, that's fine and things like that. It doesn't really matter to me. But as long as I make it, it matters to me. And then hopefully just one person watches it and it gets through to, I'll be pleased. You know, I'm understanding things on a deeper level as I've professed in the YouTube. But I'm going to talk about these 3 days of darkness that's looming. The Archons, with the help of the Draconians, long time ago, they flipped the earth. You know, the earth's on this axis, the magnetic poles. They flipped it upside down, so what was south became north, and this put the earth in a counterclockwise rotation instead of clockwise. That's clockwise. Anyway, so these beings sort of changed us, and this separated us from Creator, or most of us. 12 enlightened beings stayed on the earth at this time. They made these crystal skulls. That's all I know them as. I'm not seeing them, of course, but crystalline skulls that hold a lot of the secrets and teachings, and these are starting to activate now because they know the shifts here. If we get a castrative, we're not getting a castrative, we're going to get a pole shift of some description. And with the earth spinning in this counterclockwise, they're going to, well, they've been slowing the earth since, I think, 2009, something around there, on that way. They've been trying to slow the earth down its spin gradually, so the people don't become red mist. You know, so the people, the animals survive. Animals, I'll go to animals in a minute, but anyway, so the Archons and these crystalline skulls have always been hidden because it's so important to man, to this earth. Right, let's go into this. We need to, it's our birthright to reclaim all this. We can't separate humans from the Creator. It's impossible. We can block it, but we can't separate Creator. Do you understand? We can block the, you know, not the receiving of it. They can block our conscious mind from it, but our subconscious mind has always been connected to Creator. which is interesting. Yeah, they started doing it in 2009, the poles. They realigning the poles, and they're doing it gradually. So, and this has been carried out by important people. Not people as in people, humans. Not the humans, no. We may call them angels, we may call them gods. There's 2 ships been here. There's 2 ships been here. I've got the names somewhere, but I haven't made a note of it. But these 2 ships, one's controlled by Archangel Michael from the Bible, who's had many lives on this earth, and done much work, done all sorts of stuff on this planet that is really beneficial. See, when they've done this pole shift, this is when you might have heard some tribes call our moon the new moon. Some tribes I think it's the Maori tribe in Africa, they call, have all this celestial technology and stuff. Not technology, knowledge of the alignments of the planets, and and they've known this for thousands of years. It's in their artworks, it's in their, it's apparent they knew it before the scientists. Now, the moon is trapping this earth in this position that we're in. Now, profound things will happen with the moon. See, during these 3 days of darkness, one of the ships will block the sun from Earth. So we won't, this is why it's called the 3 days of darkness, of course. So while this is happening, we will go into something what we call a paralysis, where our mind is active, but our bodies are frozen. This can happen anytime. I don't have a direct date of when this is happening of yet, but I will keep you informed with that. I promise you they'll give me as much information as they possibly can, with respecting our own free will. They can't, due to universal law, extraterrestrials can't come here and manipulate us, for their own agendas and things like that. Because it's a free will planet, and this is deemed by God Creator. Now, this moon is trapping us in this counterclockwise. So what's likely to happen to the moon? Well, Mars will hit the moon. We've got nothing to fear about this. And this is something I need to really rush home to everybody, because we've got nothing to fear. The more loving and more inland balanced we are, the easier it will be, this transition to the 5th dimension. And this is what's happening. But it's not just for the humans, although the humans are the ones who are going to struggle with it the most. Because obviously I've spoken about the channel before, and I don't know if you know this. I'm going to say that if people don't know, the 3rd dimensional people will cease to exist. All things that are 3rd dimensional will cease to exist. And this is, our technologies will stop working. Our, cars, planes, we might see planes fall out of the sky one day. We won't see it, well, hopefully we're all home and safe and not on planes or driving cars, or, out the house. Really, during these 3 days of darkness, we want to get your family home, get everyone home and stay home. Get supplies, candles, because all electricity will go. There'll be no power. There'll be, you know, during this, we won't be able to move, bearing in mind, but the power might be off for some time and things like that during the transition. We don't need power stations in the fifth dimension, put it that way. The things that come to the ones who can take this higher vibration, the third dimensional people, might not be able to handle the fifth dimensional, so that we'll all get a choice. Do we want to go to the fifth, if we can handle it, or do we want to stay in the third dimension? Now, I mean, the research I've done and the things I've done, it's apparent that we know enough and we're vibrating enough to go to the fifth, but it's a collective thing. You know, if the third dimensional people want to go to the fifth but can't resonate at this higher dimension, they will cease to exist, and they will live out their souls, or they won't be able to go with the bodies. They'll pass over, I'm assuming. Well, they'll cease to exist as the words, they'll cease to exist, just disappear. And they'll be taken, not physically taken, but soul taken, to live out their third dimensional existence on another planet. This might frighten people, you know, loved ones and family members might just disappear. So, you know, it's the older people. The children, no problem with it. They're born with it. You know, I've spoken about it before. They're born with this higher dimensional aspect in them. If you were born before 2012, some may struggle. But the closer you are to 2012, the more likely you are to have this upgrade. But anything after before 2012, you may struggle, but after 2012, you've got the upgrade. So, you know, we've all got children, we've all got, you know, families and things, and we all want to protect them into this transition into the new earth. This is going to be monumental. That no one has ever seen anything on the planet. No planet has ever done this with humans on the planet and survived. So it is something that we have to take seriously, but not too seriously. We're worried or living in the fear space. We've got to take it and embrace it in the love space, with compassion and love for everyone, you know, and you know, and the more loving we are, the easier the transition will be, people. And this is very important. Very important. Yeah. Sorry if I'm looking down a bit, people, on this video, and it's not rolling off the tongue as usually, but there's so much information, I want to make sure I catch it all. This started on the quarter moon of the month, this process. It's unstoppable. We can't stop it. It's in the motions, and this is for thousands and thousands of years we've been trapped in this bondage of not conscious of the creator, you know, and it's caused by the pole shifts and things. So the Mars hits the moon, so you know, this is anything to worry about, or it's nothing to worry about, because you know, if you're available for the upgrade, you will get it. I've got some steps to take place, because you know, so the paralysis, number one is staying sad, basically. Number two is the paralysis, physical paralysis, may kick in at any one given time. Now, this is, I don't know if anyone knows what sleep apnea and things like that is, where you're aware of what's going on, but you can't move your physical body. This is what's going to happen, and it can happen at any time. So cars, planes will stop working, crash, speed off the road. Just all this third dimensional technology will cease to work. Planes will fall out of the sky, but we've got nothing to worry about because there's no such thing as dying, people. It's an illusion. It doesn't exist. Our soul's eternal, people. Eternal, forever, ever. I have a 91-year-old nana, and I'm not too sure she's going to be able to take this upgrade. I'm not sure. She may surprise us all and be the ringleader. But I don't think so for Nana, because she's still very much in the fear space. She's frightened of the world. I call her Nervous Norris. Bless my Nana, Gladys. Anyway, people, but cars stop working. Find inner peace. Maybe meditate. When the paralysis happens, or before, or whenever we know, get yourselves in line, clear all negative energies the best way we can. We've talked about on the channel before about how to clear energies and things like that. By meditating, praying, reflecting. These are all forms of meditation, really. They're just a different name. Unconditional love. Ground and center ourselves. Good way to ground yourself. And this is something I do. I go up to the woods and I bury my feet. Nicola has done this as well with me. I bury my feet, my legs up to my knees in the ground. Me and Nicola do it together. We put our, it's bizarre, I know, but it's a great way of grounding. The closer you get to the centre of the earth, the better grounding we have. What I mean by grounding, it means is like, if you imagine your 7 chakras, and I'll just get, this to show you. If you can imagine your 7 chakras, aligning all these, centering all these, or aligning all these, are really what grounding is about. These are to activate our chakras, the 3 chakras, dictate all the dimensions, really. Not dictate, but connect to the different dimensions. So some people might hit 4th dimensional. Some people might hit the 5th dimension. And I'm told we can ascend all the way, depending on our vibration and how we resonate with them. So just try and ground people, and you don't have to bury your feet. Walking in nature is also good grounding work. You don't have to necessarily bury it up to your ankles or up to your knees. You don't necessarily have to do that. You have to, walking in nature barefoot in the woods or on grass is a good way of grounding. Right, let's have a look what we're into now. Make sure everyone's safe. And there's some affirmations I want to touch on as well. This is quite important. The affirmations, we are ready. Sorry, I've got that wrong. Sorry. We are safe and we are ready for this change. Just simple things like that. Positive, these help us connect to it, and not just ground, more connect to the high consciousness. One of the other ones is, as well as the other affirmation, is I am light. I am free. Source and I are one. This is the really important one for people to say and feel. This helps us I can feel it, my chakras kicking in just after I said that, you know. I could feel the Kundalini energy raising up. Oh, and it's in my throat now. People, this is fifth dimensional thinking. This is fifth dimensional feeling. This is fifth dimensional manifestation. In the fifth dimension is instant. We think something, then it becomes. After the shift, of course. You know, we're still manifesting things in the third dimensional. They're getting dead easier. I mean, today I mentioned something to Nicola. Within an hour, the thing was happening. What I thought would happen was happening. What I said to Nicola, yes, boom, it's here. And, you know, it's just realising this and realising how powerful we are as humans. Do we want to give that power away for something that happened thousands of years ago? Don't think humans, Homo sapiens are 320,000 years old. Like, that's all we can find, or that's all we've found up to date. But we go back millions of years. Millions of years, people. We didn't always have this form. The form's changed a little bit over the years. You know, it was still more, you know, mainly 5 fingers. Some have 3, some have 6. You know, it's, you know, but it's still, you know, head, arms, legs, body legs, you know. I think they call, I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but this is, we've always had that, you know, the colour of skin, the eye colour, the things like that, you know, eye shape and things like that may have changed, but we've been around millions and millions and millions and millions of years, and they just keep you know, setting the time frame. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, our calendar says 2025, but you know, it's sometimes you know, easier to manipulate people if they think it was closer to us, and you know, it really was so far away. So don't worry about it's just getting through the change, you know. You know, I give thanks for everything I've learned over the years, and appreciation, but this is stuff that needs to be shared. It needs to be shared. So let's hit the 5th dimension, people. You know, things will disappear that we just don't need in the 5th dimension. Money. See you later, money. I've been researching money all this long and now it's going to disappear. He's having a laugh up there, isn't he? Our creator. And so he should. And so he should. You know, all my years of working for me money and all, you know, for the things I've achieved, you know, and I've achieved a lot for, you know, from where I've come from. You know, no one expects it of me, or no one expected it of me, but I've risen my vibration, and this is what changed my life, you know, financially. But not just financially, it changed my life in so many profound ways. Well, I'll tell you, a guy walked by, it's 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, or whatever it was at this time, 3 in the morning, it was still dark, and a guy just walked by, and he seen the light on, and he just give it a little glance like that. So I put my thumb up and waved like that. Thumbs up. Oh, mate, all right. Anyway, I thought I'll go out and talk with him. He stopped, looked at me, and wanted to see me interact with him, and stopped, and he didn't know what to do. So I jumped up, and I went out and spoke with him. I said, hello, how are you, my friend? Assalamu alaikum. He was Muslim, of course. And from Afghanistan. You know, we talked a little bit, just briefly, you know, because I was in the middle of doing all this research. And channel and whatnot, and you know, getting everything ready for the video. And we spoke, we talked, and I said, you know, if you're passing any time, you want a cup of tea, you want to come and sit and have a chat, please come and talk. Don't know the man from Adam, but this is fifth dimensional thinking. It doesn't matter that I don't know him. You know, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. The only thing is that he's human, I'm human, and we love each other. That's all that matters. And we'll embrace, you know, we shook hands, and, you know, you have a nice morning, it's a lovely morning, and it's nice. It's from the love space, it's not from the negativity, it's not out of fear. When I come in, Nicola went, I can't believe you've done that. You know, he was asking for your phone number, and he was asking, you know, I said, Nicola, don't fear the world. This is what is more third dimensional thinking. And she said, I'm scared. I'm scared that, I said, I'm a male, and you know, there's no need for me to be scared. You know, and she's like, oh, well, I can understand why a woman might be scared, but there's no need for it at all. The more you're scared, the more you invite the negativity onto you. The more you get the killers, the more you get, you know, the negative things happening to you, the rapist or whatever might come your way. Whatever you fear, that is what you might like, because you're giving it the most energy. You see, giving it the most energy is where we go with it. But I won't go off on the beaten track too much. But you know, give thanks, people, and I'm going to just say that once more time. The affirmation that I want everyone to, I would like everyone to say, and this will help them connect back to source. Source is creator, source is light, source is everything, source is all there is. Physical is just a manifestation of our consciousness. Everything physical doesn't exist, which is hard to get your head around. Took me, I mean, obviously I've been doing this since 2014, you know, not as intensive as I do now, because, you know, work was different then, and I could only do it on weekends and nights and things like that, and I just didn't have the energy, you know, from working, you know, to come home and learn all this new information. So once I stopped working, I put both feet in the weight, and I went with it with God precision. And I give thanks in it. But I'll finish on the affirmation for everyone. I am light, I am free, and source and I are one. My birds are just letting me know they need feeding. That was amazing, mate. And I'm sorry if you don't feel it. But saying that, it just goes straight up. And that one hit the heart chakra quite profoundly. And the more I say it, the more energy I feel like it's raising up in my body. I've had this feeling like of change. Or during this I've just remembered, I forgot something. During this 3 days of darkness, you may have the impulse to make drastic changes, like, I don't know, move house to, I don't know, the Bronx, or out of Mongolia, or I don't know, anywhere, or do things extreme. And I have been like this myself of late. I'm hoping to get a boat and go travelling around the world. But fifth dimensional people don't need boats. We just think somewhere and we're there. You know, we can, fifth dimensional beings can collapse the light from the physical and appear somewhere else instantaneously. And not just on this planet, people. Anywhere in the universe. So this is what's available for the people who can handle it, the higher vibrations. You know, there's no wars in the positive. side of things. The only war that there is with the negativity. You know, if negativity wants to push back a bit, but the negativity, deep state, and all the rest of it, people at this point are being disabled. You know, but it's really about this shift. Accept it, people, and embrace it. Oh, I'm going to give it one more go, because I'm hoping to finish on 33 and I've just looked up at 30. It would be a coincidence anyway, but I'm not going to fixate on that too much, but I'm going to fixate on I am light, I am free, Source and I are one. Feel it, baby, feel the power. Feel the power within us. Just let it shine, people, let it shine out, because it's all from within. Love yous, people, and it was the pleasure of my life doing this video. I will keep you informed closer to, I mean, you know, we're imminent, imminent. I mean, it could happen any day. Some say, well, it's already started, the process has started. You know, I've talked about the sunspot, so it's lining up with the earth to do a coronal injection of light. So we're getting high vibrations in the human resonance as well. So give thanks, people. I love you with all my heart. Unconditional love, people. It's not like third dimensional love. It's deeper, it's sacred, it's here for us forever. It'll never change, I'll never waver, I'll never join the dark. I've always been the light being, the starseed, who's came to this earth to help everybody awaken to it, and, you know, to push back on the dark that's been here for centuries. And I give thanks for that, people. You are the most loving friends, family. You're everything. And I mean this to everybody. I don't mean it to just my family, my physical family, my soul family, or I mean it to every single living, dead person. You know, because death's just an illusion. So you give thanks for that, people, and I love yous with all my heart. See you soon, people, and I will be back on the YouTube soon. But please spread my word. Thank you, people. Good morning from the Creator. We are one, remember.